Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Domination on Northern Waters. We are playing World of Warships Legends. In case you weren't paying attention to what you clicked on, I am your host today, whenever you're watching this, Phoenix61. Make sure to follow the channel, guys. We do and by we, I mean it's really just me here, but yeah. I do a World of Warships video every single freaking day. So enjoy, but yeah, if you subscribe, you'll, they'll pop up more for you, I guess, right? It does help out my channel. Do not like the video, though, until you've actually watched it. You don't know if you like this yet. You gotta wait and see. So we are rocking the Musashi. This is the Tier 8 premium Japanese battleship. This is very similar to the legendary Tier Yamato. I think the big difference is like a little bit less AA and or secondary batteries. Like the deck is a little bit more empty on the Musashi versus what you see on the Yamato. But yeah, so we're spotted and we're broadside to Zone C here, which is no bueno. So I'm taking this shot quick at this curve first, and then I'm gonna keep an eye out for enemy shells coming our direction. The Musashi, very much like the Yamato, is not one you want to be. You want to make sure you're angled appropriately, right? You don't want to be too broadside to other enemy battleships, and even some cruisers can punch you pretty hard too as well, so you have to be careful for those, right? We go unspotted, so I see the enemy smoke screen out there, so it was probably a destroyer in Zone C that is capturing it right now. That was probably spotting us before and now isn't because he's, sitting in the smoke screen, right? But since we're pulling the trigger and firing our guns, we're getting spotted by these other battleships that are further out now at this point, right? So we're just kind of choosing our targets as they pop up and when they're available based on when our guns are loaded, right? So this Giuseppe Verde, he was angled pretty well for us to be able to smack him good, and we only got a little bit of a chunk out of him, right? So... and then we'll let auto-aim do a little bit of the work for this volley here, and then we did aim up a little bit higher just to try and make sure that, the bullets made it over the hill there, the island, and that we, hit his deck too. He's further out, so I always feel like bullets tend to, the real spot to aim is the waterline most of the time, right? But, in general, if you're not familiar with every single ship's armor scheme, that's kind of the go-to, right? Middle of the ship armor, waterline. But sometimes I feel like, just landing the hits is more important, and so I'll aim a little bit higher because I feel like shells tend to hit the water and not the ship. They tend to fall short a little more often than not, right? So aiming high helps us just at least guarantee a little bit of damage, as long as the rest of our aiming was okay, right? But he looks like he wants to hide back here behind this island, right? So we may need to search somebody else out. I mean, at some point he's going to get flushed out. It looks like our destroyer's picking him up and is what's spotting him, so he may not realize that. And then at some point we'll be worried about enemy destroyers here, because you can see they captured Zone C, right? So we know that was most likely a destroyer. So we'll have to be sort of cautious here. And not maintain a position or course for too long of a time at once, right? So this St. Louis way back in the back looks like he's not playing, so we'll see if we can't get rid of him and get sort of this, easy kill and also get that ship off the board too. We don't want him reconnecting and being able to play, right? The question here is, do we fire all 3 turrets, or do we just do 1? 3 kind of guarantees you the kill, but it'd be nice to get away with 1 and then, shoot this Giuseppe Verde or something else. So I want to be able to just see where his hull is, but at the same time, our destroyer dumped a ton of torpedoes there. I don't know if this is going to be worth. We might be wasting our bullets here. Yep. Good job on the devastating strike to the Shimakaze on our team here. And then, yes, we will make sure to move here because I'm not sure where that destroyer is. It looks like he did get spotted recently over by our other battleship that kind of went out wide from C, so I'm going to say, yeah, he's probably on that side. And then this Alaska, it looks like he's either running up against the island or slowing down, so we took a shot at him. And then, yeah, here's this enemy Shimakaze. It'd be nice to get rid of him. But he, the Shimikaze's got 3 racks of 5 torpedoes, right? So he is right next to our Heisen battleship. So I imagine, well, if he's got torpedoes loaded, he already sent one. Yeah, here comes another rack. We're not going to be able to shoot him by the time our battleship dies. So we may just have been waiting for the right opportunity to send another rack of torpedoes. So here's where, like, you run into a little bit of a conundrum, right? Like, we're so close to the sea cap that it would be great to go into it and steal it, especially since the red team has it, right? So it would be awesome to be able to get this zone, but I feel like it's just suicide at this point. Like, that Shimikaze's got so much island cover in that zone to be able to sneak up on us and just annihilate us from full health to nothing, right? So I am actually going to turn away here once we get this turret, let's see if we can get this rear turret off at somebody here. And then we're just going to abandon that zone for the time being, right? Until other teammates can come and help us tackle that destroyer. I just feel like I'm throwing my ship away, right? Like, as long as that Musashi player or that Shimikaze player has, some sort of intelligence when playing, right? He'd be able to just destroy us pretty easily, right? That's not a fair fight. And then our Shimikaze over here has taken out their other battleship. So that clears up this side completely, except for, well, from what we can tell, right, that destroyer, that Shimikaze. So we will continue to pick on whoever kind of looks the juiciest, right? Like, who looks like we can do the most damage to. And then, yeah, that Shimikaze did take a cheap shot at us here. Yeah, it's probably because he was angry that we didn't turn in towards him to face his torpedoes, right? But yeah, you can see that he went north, so he's either gonna have to chase us down, or he's gonna go north and cap the B zone. And we shall see. And that gives us our second kill, and we're up to 93k for damage as well. It just didn't feel like we were participating that much, but now I guess we are. Yeah, we'll see if we can get this Alaska. Failed to use the rear turret before, maybe we can get it on him now. I always complain about the Alaska. I love the Alaska. We have the Alaska as well, if you're interested in kind of how that ship functions. Yeah, man, that was a terrible shot. But, I mean, he turned too, but anyway, I always feel like with the Alaska, like, I love playing as the Alaska, but when I take shots from Musashis and Yamatos and like some of these other big legendary battleships, I feel like I go down pretty quick. And when the shoe is on the other foot, when the tables have turned, I just feel like I struggle at doing decent chunks of damage to Alaskas, like we're doing here. Yeah, 1600. Granted, some of this may be the skill or lack thereof coming from Phoenix 6-1 here, right? we were just not that good. They did get a little bit of a buff somewhat recently, right? Yeah, we got him, though. We got him. Yeah, I think they changed, or no, they got nerfed. I think there was like some changes in its armor scheme. I mean, this was like 2 updates ago at this point, but a little bit of like armor tweaking, and then like fires last slightly longer on it. So like the guns are still great, right? But yeah, it is such a good. I love the Alaska. It's a good range and accuracy cruiser from the Americans. Then yep, you can see Zone B is getting captured. So that's that Shimikaze that was disappointed in the fact that we didn't want to challenge him as a slow-moving battleship. What are these jeepers? Okay. Well, this is unfortunate. Who did these come from? Oh my god. Oh, there was a destroyer over there that is dead now. Pay attention to the minimap, kids. That is the lesson for the day. Where enemy destroyers are. Jeepers. Alright, so our destroyer takes out that Shimikaze, and we are in a little bit of a pickle. Like, they are whooping our butt on points, and if the enemy destroyer here, they've got 3 zones capped to our 0 at this point, So if they want to win this game, all they need to do is just run out the clock, right? Run away, let the timer do its thing, and you're golden. There's no way I'm capping all 4 zones in 5 minutes in a big-ass battleship, right? It's just not going to happen, right? So I did switch to HE shells here, just in case that destroyer does show up near us, right? And then this battleship, what was this, a Kurfürst that's out here? Right, he looked like he's not going to be broadside to us, right? If he was going to be broadside to us once we spot him coming around this corner, it may have made sense to keep AP loaded, but I'm like, you know what, we might as well just switch to high explosives and see how it goes, right? So as we get spotted, it probably means that, nope, I bet you we're getting spotted by the destroyer, which would mean he's heading this way. Since we got spotted before we were able to see this Kurfürst, like I was expecting it to happen at the same time, right? But since we got spotted a little bit before this Kurfürst, I'm going to guess that destroyer's coming over here, which gives us a chance to win, right? If he shows his face, we might be able to take him out. And this is the moment to, and we did switch to AP here, but I don't really think it's going to matter. But yeah, he's a little bit more angled, but not really. So like we're gonna aim high with this just to make sure we hit superstructure and get guaranteed bullets on target, right? So yeah, so that takes him out. And I'm actually going to use, so he's coming from Zone B. This destroyer's got to be coming from Zone B. We'll switch back to HE shells just because that's going to be better, give us a little bit better of a chance against a destroyer, right? And then I'm going to use the land here to ram it to give us an easier, faster turnaround, right? So I always just go full on into it when I'm, if you're doing your classic Y turn here, ladies and gentlemen, right? I use the islands to, get us to come to that full stop quickly. If your plan is to turn around, just ram into it at full speed, and then hit reverse once you hit it, right? Oh my gosh, there he is. Okay, so our plane must be picking him up, which is great. So now we know where he is, and he's challenging the zone. So we'll be able to tell if he leaves the zone too, because the zone won't be contested. You get that little symbol down in the bottom where it says capturing area. It's got the orange ship symbol, right? So we know he's staying in the zone. But yeah, so anyway, using the land to kind of help yourself make those turnarounds. Instead of hitting reverse before you run into it, that'll just kind of slow down your process, right? Just ram it, then start backing up. It makes it a little bit quicker, right? It's my style. I like to ram, whether it be islands or other ships. So he has tons of torpedoes, right? 3 racks of 5, so 15 that he can dump at us, right? But he's pretty low on health, so like if we can take him out before those torpedoes get to us, we could potentially win this game, right? So we'll see. And then we're going to assume he's sending them, right? So we're going to turn in and slow down, right, to try and mitigate how many hit us, right? If we would have just kept sailing, we would have taken all 5 of those and we'd be dead, right? But we mitigated and only took 1. And maybe he must have sent some before, trying to like guess which way we were going to go, so maybe he doesn't have any loaded right now. So he might be waiting on a reload, or they might be like damaged, it's towards the end of the game. So that gives us a chance to finish him off, and that pops the Kraken Unleashed for us, right? So awesome. But yes, that is definitely a game that the enemy team should have won, because he should have just left and let the timer run out, right? So, I mean, unless you're just going in for fun, right? But at Legendary tier, if you lose, we'll see where we end up on the leaderboard here, too. Yeah, we're not even... So I was kind of right when I was like, it feels like we're not really contributing, right? We got 3rd, which is great, right? We got 3rd on the leaderboard, but then came out on top with some cash. But yeah, kills aren't everything, and that goes to show that, right? So this is the commander we're using. You can see in the top right, it's Takeo Takagi, right? And the Celestial Garden Dragon thing is just the Commander Geist, right? So, but yeah, like it goes to show. I do not want to rate Legends right now, guys. Come on, I'm in the middle of a video. Alright, anyway. Yeah, but it goes to show that kills aren't always the most important. They're great. You absolutely have to get kills. Your team needs to get kills to win. But, yeah, doing objectives is just as important, right? So, this is how we have this commander built out. For the most part, I go range and accuracy. That's kind of my play style. I know there's a lot of folks out there that kind of prefer to have a little bit more, like, try to boost reload speed a little bit, which is totally understandable as well. But this is kind of how I've done it. I would say, I tend to be a little bit more balanced, right? And then of course I almost always choose will to rebuild for the legendary perk, right? So yeah, if you see me out there and we're on the same team, and I'm low on health, come hang out and give me some will to rebuild, and you know we can die together, right? That'll be fun. We can just get wiped out, right? Or win. That happens sometimes too, right? That will to rebuild. You know I like it, right? All right. Guys, thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you're still here, if you still, you know, if you had fun with my shenanigans, now is an appropriate time to push the like button if you liked the video. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.